let's make some soaked oatmeal. Hey everybody, if we're just meeting, my name is Dennis, and over the past 10 years, I've spent literally thousands of hours researching nutrition and applying it to my cooking. And tonight, I'm gonna show you how I make overnight soaked oatmeal. Oatmeal is delicious and it's one of my favorite breakfasts, but you have to prepare the oats properly because they are a grain, and as such, in their whole form, they contain what are called anti-nutrients. Notably phytic acid, which prevents our body from absorbing minerals like zinc, iron, magnesium, and it also has enzyme inhibitors, which prevent your body from digesting the grains properly. But when we eat them, we need to prepare them properly. So I've got a cup of whole oats right here. I'm just gonna put that into my bowl. I've got apple cider vinegar right here. I just used a teaspoon. It's not an exact science, so you don't need to get the measurements perfect, but about a capful or a teaspoon is good. And then we're gonna fill it up with about 2 cups of water. I'm just gonna cover it with a kitchen towel to make sure dust doesn't get in. And now I'm gonna leave it for maybe 8-12 hours. Don't go too long because then you run the risk of mold growing on top, but don't go too short because then the acid in the water isn't gonna have time to activate the grains and disable the enzyme inhibitors and the phytic acid. I just do overnight. I start it before I go to bed, and then when I wake up, I start cooking. So I'm gonna see you in the morning in 8 to 12 hours. All right, it's been 12 hours, it's the next morning, and I got a great night of sleep, thank you for asking. So as you can see, the oats have absorbed most of the water, and if you stick your finger in there, the water is kind of a little bit slimy. That's normal, that's just the starch from the oats seeping into the water, making it a little bit viscous. So I'm just gonna take this whole bowl, dump it into my little pot, and I'm just gonna start cooking this on like a medium-low heat. And while that is happening, I'm gonna measure out a cup of fresh raw milk. If you don't have raw milk or you don't wanna use milk, you can use water, or you can use almond milk, oat milk, whatever you wanna use. It makes it a little bit more creamy and just tastes better. I'm gonna hold off on just a couple minutes to add this because since it's raw milk, I wanna protect the natural enzymes and probiotics that are in them. So I don't want to heat that for too long. So I'm just gonna let some of this water cook off and then I'm gonna add that milk. But before I let that sit any longer, I'm gonna add a little bit of nutmeg. You can add some nutmeg for seasoning or cinnamon. I'm also gonna add a handful of raisins. It just makes it taste really good, and you don't use as much maple syrup or honey, you know, whatever you're sweetening your oatmeal with later. We don't need as much because the raisins are gonna add some sweetness. This oatmeal has been going for about 4 minutes, and you can see it's getting a little bit thicker, so it's also a little bit bubbly, and now it is time to add the milk. I'm just gonna mix that in and let it go again. All right, this oatmeal has been cooking for about 10 minutes, and it is done. I like it about this consistency. If you want it thinner, then just add more milk. If you want it less thin, add less milk. It's a really difficult equation there, but I think you'll get it. So I'll just scoop some of it into my bowl. I think about half is good for one breakfast. I'm gonna add about, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or so of butter. I like to add a little bit of maple syrup. You can also use some honey or a little bit of jelly. That's pretty tasty. And there you go. It's really easy to digest because we've gotten rid of all those enzyme inhibitors. The phytic acid is gone, so we're gonna be able to absorb all the nutrients, and the fat inside of the butter and inside the milk helps us with absorbing a lot of minerals. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more nutrition-focused cooking videos. And that's about it.